So these are the parts that are available in Material Master, and we actually will give and populate these parts. Okay. In Material Master, there is a segment for production. That is basic data, classification, MRP views, and work scheduling. And these are very important. And we have to actually maintain all these features, and we will actually go into and look into this and we create. So we can also have default values. And what are default values? We'll just see if once we actually get over with this presentation. We can default details like plant, like storage location, divisions, because these are important units. And of course, some Material Master screens that we see can also be made defaulted. So what are the screens that are available to us? The purchasing screen, basic data, MRP, forecasting, sales, accounting. Rather than we actually go into the presentation, let me just show you what can we actually have. Okay. MM02, and I'll pick a random material. That random material will be any. Okay, and enter. Okay, basic data, accounting 1, accounting 2, plant stock. I don't know what the plant is for this material. Kolkata. This is just a random material that I've actually picked, and these are the screens. Okay. Basic data 2. Accounting data. In accounting data, we will have valuation classes. Now, valuation classes are for recording the movement, consumption, procurement of materials in finance. Okay. So we have a standard price, and price control is standard. Okay. Standard price, moving average price. Moving average when you're procuring from the outside. Okay. So we have multiple screens, and in those screens, we have segments like units of measure, document data, administrative data, and so on. Now, number assignments, if you look at this material, it has a certain number range. Now, this is 3000, it means this will be a raw material, but it's not necessary a 3000 will be a raw material, but since valuation class are basically divided as per a numbering range. And if you want to see finished goods, semi-finished goods, okay, semi-finished goods have 7900. So your material with 790 means it is semi-finished goods. But it's just an industry practice, not necessarily a standard. So number assignments are available, which can be internal or external. External can be for finished goods, and internal can be for semi-finished and raw material. Material, basically, it has a feature that only 18 characters have to be shown. Input, output length, of course, you can control that from configuration. And secondly, when we have a material type of the same nature or same industry, like carton, crate, pallets, these two can have their own specific material numbers. And of course, we can have a unit of measure that can be alternate, like pieces, kgs, size, meters, feet. Those can be used as alternative units. For example, if this is a crate and it can be a piece for customers, but in manufacturing, the alternative will be per feet. Your costing might be happening on per feet basis. The document usage, because there is a material type of document usage, it is basically used for referring the material master for brochure, drawing, inspections, and other areas. Material status. Now, material status for like raw material finished good will be different. For example, a material might not be available, raw material might not be relevant for bills of material, which is BOM or routing. Finished good might be available and relevant for routing. So we can actually have material status assigned to certain material types. Extending a material, if we have a material that's already made, we can extend it to other plants as well. Okay. And we can copy these features like the screens, accounting, purchasing, MRP, which can be copied as well. Material lists basically are arranged and saved in case and sorted in case of numbers, in case of plants under material type, and uh, for user categorized made by user. If you want to search for a material made by specific user, you can use that as well. Materials can be deleted if a certain model or a version is going out of trend or business, then we can delete it and archive it as well. Uh, the usage of material master records is basically in various areas like routing headers, documents, work, PRTs. It can be used at various departments. Classification is basically where some features are common to material types, and these can be for raw materials, semi-finished good and finished goods. Like class can have features which are common to every material type, and those classes can be maintained for material master. Searching a material, as we have already seen in our case, okay? In our case, we had a search option like this. We can select, okay? And we can select as many number as we want. And there is a huge list that can be produced, okay? Like for example, this one, and for example, basic data, accounting one, and let's see what organizational level is maintaining it. It is PLCB, and okay, we have details for every material. Okay. Authorization groups. Now, certain users can be authorized to use a material type and to enter or record its consumption or receiving or GRN, whatever. So we can restrict some users to use and not to use a certain material. Like for example, 4711 can be used by a certain group of 150. The authorization group 50 will only be dealing with 4712 material type. Okay. So this can be actually changed, and change authorization or display authorization can also be awarded to um, users. Okay. Now, basically, let us go and check our configuration as given in this presentation. Okay. Now, raw material can be procured from outside and produced internally as well. So for that setting, we'll have to see where do we have to go. SPRO, logistics, material master, basic settings, material types, define attributes. Material types are raw material, semi-finished good, finished good. Internal, external purchase order 012. Now, what is 012? Let's see that. Now, let's check material type FERT, which is finished goods. Okay. And double click, and we have purchase orders, external and internal. That means procured externally or internally. No external purchase allowed, but warning issued, external purchase allowed. So external, it can be procured from vendors, or internally, it can be produced or procured from other plants. So these are the um, options that we have. Okay. We'll study about MRP areas later on when we create our own material. Okay. Costing, and if we talk about costing, now costing is part of pretty much part of the material. Okay. So in T code OKKN, even if you don't understand, it doesn't matter. But over here, we have standard cost estimate and quantity structure. Now, quantity structure is basically a part of materials, and quantity structure is a combination of routing and bills of material. Okay. Ignore product cost estimate without quantity structure. Okay. And we can save it, but I'm not saving because it's default. Okay. What is a control in standard cost estimate? What is quantity structure control? Let's see that. So BOM and routing actually form the combination of quantity structure. Oh, okay. So, it will be used for costing. Okay. And round up, do not round. Basically, when we are talking about material, of course, it has certain value which needs to be either rounded up or taken as a whole. Routing selection. Now, what are routings? Routings basically is the recipe of making a product. Bills of material is the list of components. You combine that and you have a product. Okay. So next is OPKP, and we have production schedule profiling parameters, and we'll see these screens in the next lecture. Okay. And over here, we have different plans. For example, if I take process manufacturing, double click, over here, I have some certain controls through production schedule profiling. Now, what is production schedule profiling? For plant, when this plant is producing materials, it will have certain controls like bills of material, document links, confirm available partial quantity, automatic goods receipt. Now, these are some of the features that you will actually have to plan for your production. Valuated MTO, which is make to order valuated. Okay, you want to schedule the order, and schedule means plan the order. And these are the controls that you will actually have. So work schedule, production scheduling profile will have to make this as well. And let's go and check the next one, which is production shop floor control, master data, define production schedules. Okay, let's go for production, shop floor, master data, define production schedules. Define production schedule profile, discrete manufacturing. Okay, and it's the same thing that we actually just saw in the last step. MM032, we have already seen that, and that is it for your today's lecture.